The internet said that Puffy tried to kill me. I left them parties early. I was out by 9. Something don't look right. It's slippery in here.
Well, I hang with P. Diddy, a lot, man. Sean, Puffy Combs. We hang out, man. I mean, we party. I call him Black Gatsby, man.
Baby oil, more than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Cannot even begin to tell you how far it took me and how it brought me back. I went through something that I thought I would never ever go through. And I know a lot of people were waiting, or wanting to hear updates, but to be honest with you, I just didn't want you to see me like that, man. I want you to see me laughing. Now, by being quiet, sometimes things, get out of hand. People saying what I got. Some people said I was blind, but as you can see, the eyes are working. The eyes are working just fine. Said I was paralyzed. I'm not paralyzed. But I did go through, and I know they talk about people crying on videos. You can do take 2, but I'm not gonna do a take 2. It is what it is, and if you see me out from now on and every once in a while I just burst into tears, is because it's been tough, man. I was sick, man, but now I got my legs under me, so you're gonna see me out. But like I said, I just want you to remember me for the jokes that I crack, the movies that I make. Some of them good, some of them ain't. I think I got a good one out. And the songs that I sing, man.
Welcome back to Juicy Pulse, your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Let's spill the tea on today's biggest celebrity stories. After almost getting taken out last year, allegedly by Diddy himself, Jamie Foxx is back in the spotlight, and he's not holding anything back. He's spilling piping hot tea about Diddy and some big-name players in the industry. To make things even messier, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Big Homie CC, is standing right behind Jamie, backing up every word. Big Homie CC even dropped a bombshell, claiming Diddy actually paid people to take Jamie out because he knew way too much. Word on the street is, this assassination attempt is what actually landed Jamie in the hospital last year. According to Big Homie CC, Jamie didn't just suffer a random stroke. He almost lost his life because of what he knew. Jamie even had a top-secret meeting with the FBI just days before everything went down, warning them that his life was hanging by a thread. But without hardcore proof, nobody took Jamie seriously, not until he was laid up in that hospital bed fighting for his life. If you remember, back in April last year, the whole internet went crazy when news broke that Jamie Foxx had been rushed to the hospital after suffering a mysterious stroke, one that almost ended him for good. Word is, Jamie had a deadly blood clot in his brain, and if he had gotten to the ER even 1 minute later, he would have either been gone or left in a permanent vegetative state. It all sounded way too shady for a lot of people, especially since Jamie had been super healthy right before this went down. The idea that he'd just suddenly have a stroke out of nowhere didn't sit right with anybody. On top of that, his family started acting real secretive. The media had to move mountains just to find out what hospital Jamie was even staying at. And once the location leaked, his family immediately cranked up the security around his hospital room, like they were straight up guarding him from somebody or something, but trying not to make it too obvious. Even when it came to sharing exactly what was wrong with Jamie, his camp stayed tight-lipped. They didn't even want to admit he had a stroke at first. Things got so out of control that people actually started speculating he was already dead, and the family was just buying time before dropping the news. That's how wild and confusing everything around Jamie's situation got. After spending weeks fighting for his life in the hospital, Jamie pulled off a miracle recovery. And the first thing he did, he hopped on social media to clear the air about all the crazy rumors flying around. Jamie described the whole ordeal as straight up going to hell and back. That's how traumatic it was for him. Of course, fans were hyped to see him alive and kicking again, but they couldn't ignore how different he looked. Jamie seemed super emotional, completely drained, like his soul had been through a war. Sure, it made sense after surviving something so serious, but a lot of people felt like something was still off. Some folks even started pushing wild theories saying Jamie had already died and the person talking on camera was nothing more than his clone. And when Jamie spoke, you could tell he was holding back, like he had so much more to spill but didn't have the strength yet to face what would come if he aired it all out. Naturally, all eyes turned straight to Diddy. After all, Jamie had been running his mouth online about Diddy's dirty laundry right before he mysteriously got sick. The streets started buzzing, and nobody was letting Diddy's name stay clean. For a while now, word on the street has been that Jamie was one of the celebs who got caught up at Diddy's wild freak-off parties. Things really exploded when an old interview of Jamie started going viral while he was still laid up in the hospital fighting for his life. In that interview, Jamie dropped some disturbing details about what he witnessed after getting invited to one of Diddy's parties. According to Jamie, the moment he walked in, he was hit with a scene straight out of a madman's fantasy. Naked people everywhere doing the wildest freaky stuff you could imagine. It wasn't just a party, it was a full-on freak-off. And it didn't stop there. Jamie even mentioned Diddy's infamous pink coke, something a lot of people have been whispering about lately. For those who don't know, pink coke is rumored to be a dangerous cocktail of hardcore substances designed to keep people partying and indulging for hours without crashing. Sources claim Diddy knew the people he brought in for his wild nights wouldn't have the stamina to keep up, so he made sure they had that pink powder to keep them wired and wild deep into the night. At some point, the partygoers turned into straight-up freak-off zombies running purely off that pink powder. Jaguar Wright even jumped into the madness. She hit up one of the actual dealers who cooks up this pink mess, and the details she uncovered were way more disturbing than anyone could imagine. Child, it's crazier than you think. Anyway, circling back to Jamie, he spilled even more tea in another interview, saying these parties were super secret and invitation only. You couldn't just pull up unless Diddy personally vouched for you. So to get on Diddy's good side and score an invite, Jamie played it smart. He agreed to bring his camera and document everything for Diddy, acting like he was totally down with the wild stuff. Basically, Jamie posed as Diddy's personal cameraman to get inside the madness. And we all know Diddy loved recording these freak-offs, so he was all for it. If you remember, Cassie said the same thing in her lawsuit, that Diddy used to film these wild parties and keep the footage as leverage against anyone who attended. He knew nobody would want their freaky business exposed to the world, so he kept those tapes close to keep them in check for as long as he wanted. Word on the street is Jamie knew way too much, and that's why he became one of the first targets when it was time to start cleaning house. According to Diddy's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, he flat out accused Diddy of being behind Jamie's mysterious illness, and get this, Big Homie claims they tried to take Jamie out by poisoning him with cyanide. Big Homie didn't stop there either. He said Diddy went after Jamie twice with the same deadly trick. During the second attempt, Jamie's brother even got caught up and poisoned too. But luckily, both of them managed to survive. And if all that wasn't wild enough, Big Homie also said the reason Jamie has stayed so quiet about what really happened is because he went to the FBI and reported Diddy for poisoning him. But since Jamie didn't have enough solid evidence to nail Diddy, the case never saw the light of day. Mind you, this all went down way before Cassie came forward and exposed Diddy in her lawsuit. So if Jamie had come out back then without receipts, everybody would have just brushed him off as being crazy. The timing was everything. Fast forward to now, with Diddy's name getting dragged through the mud left and right, Jamie's situation is starting to make a whole lot more sense. People are connecting the dots and realizing Jamie might have been trying to warn everybody before it was too late. Insiders are whispering that Jamie still has some heavy receipts tucked away, video footage, secret recordings, and names that would blow the roof off the industry if they ever came to light. But because of how powerful Diddy's circle is, Jamie's been keeping it all under wraps, waiting for the right moment to strike. Some say Jamie's been playing chess, not checkers, staying quiet, rebuilding his health, and stacking up protection just in case things get messy. Rumor has it he's even got legal teams on standby, ready to unleash everything if anything else happens to him. And you already know, with Diddy's empire crumbling little by little, the streets are getting louder, and the pressure is boiling over. If Jamie decides to finally spill everything he knows, it could be the move that shuts the whole game down for good. Meanwhile, Diddy's camp is scrambling like crazy behind the scenes. Sources say he's been doing everything he can to keep certain people silent, pulling favors, throwing cash around, and calling in old debts just to keep the skeletons buried. But the crazy part? It's not just Jamie anymore. More people who were once deep inside Diddy's world are starting to peek out from the shadows, bodyguards, assistants, even old party guests. And they're all hinting they've got stories that would make jaws drop. There's even talk that some media outlets are sitting on explosive interviews and evidence just waiting for the perfect time to drop it all. If that happens, Diddy's whole empire could go up in flames overnight. As for Jamie, people are watching him like a hawk, Every post, every interview, every move, fans are analyzing everything for hidden messages or clues. It feels like he's playing a dangerous game of survival, knowing one wrong step could put him right back in the crosshairs. One thing's for sure, whatever Jamie knows has serious power behind it. And if he ever decides to spill it all, it's gonna shake Hollywood straight to its core. And let's be real, Hollywood is nervous. Big names are staying real quiet, pretending like they don't know what's going on. But behind the scenes, the panic is loud. People who once flexed their ties to Diddy are now scrubbing their socials and distancing themselves as fast as they can. Even some A-listers who used to party with him every other weekend are now acting like they've never even met the man. It's giving scared energy, like they know that if Jamie or someone else starts naming names, they're cooked too. Meanwhile, whispers are spreading that Jamie's not the only one who's been threatened. Other celebs who know too much are allegedly getting those same scary vibes. Weird phone calls, strange people showing up around them, shady offers to keep their mouths shut. It's almost like the whole industry is sitting on a ticking time bomb, just waiting for that one brave person to break it all open. And Jamie? He might just be the wild card nobody saw coming. The way it's looking, this is just the calm before the real storm. And when it finally hits, a whole lot of people better have their receipts ready because it's about to get ugly. And trust, when the storm finally hits, it's not just Diddy who's gonna feel the heat. There's a whole web of powerful people tied to these secret parties, backdoor deals, and shady favors that's about to get dragged into the light. Big execs, famous artists, even some people you'd never expect. They're all tangled up in this messy underground world. Once a few names start dropping, it's gonna be like dominoes falling, fast and unstoppable. Insiders are already saying some lawyers are working overtime, prepping NDAs, gag orders, and emergency damage control plans, trying to keep their clients from getting roasted when it all blows up. Meanwhile, Jamie is staying low-key but strategic. Every move he makes looks calculated, like he knows the real power is in timing. If he pulls the trigger at the right moment, he won't just expose Diddy. He could crack open a whole dirty chapter of Hollywood history. And let's be real, the streets are hungry for the truth. The public ain't buying the polished PR statements anymore. They want the real tea, and it feels like Jamie might be the one who's finally bold enough to serve it scorching hot. But here's the twist. Jamie's not just fighting for himself anymore. He's carrying the weight of everyone who's been hurt or silenced by the dark side of the industry. That's why the stakes are so insanely high. If he exposes everything, he's not just putting Diddy on blast, he's opening the door for other survivors to step forward too. People who've been scared for years might finally have the courage to tell their stories once Jamie cracks the first wall. At the same time, it's clear Jamie knows the risk. We're talking about powerful people who have the money, the reach, and the ruthlessness to make problems disappear overnight. That's why he's moving so carefully, making sure that when he speaks, it's backed by receipts they can't erase. The crazy part? Word is, Jamie might already have a backup plan in place. Hidden files, secret footage, stuff that would automatically leak if anything shady happens to him. It's a dangerous game, but if Jamie really pulls it off, he won't just make headlines. He'll change the entire game forever. And right now, all eyes are locked on him, waiting to see if he's about to flip Hollywood upside down once and for all. Meanwhile, the pressure on Diddy is boiling over. Every day, new allegations, new witnesses, and new dirt keep popping up. And the walls are closing in fast. It's like no matter how much he tries to play it cool, the cracks are getting way too big to cover. Behind the scenes, it's chaos. People who used to ride for Diddy are jumping ship. Lawyers quitting, old friends ghosting him, business partners trying to quietly cut ties before the whole empire sinks. It's giving major desperation vibes, and everyone can smell it. At the same time, Jamie's silence is louder than ever. The fact that he's sitting back, watching it all crumble without saying a word, that's power. It's like he knows his moment is coming. And when it does, he's gonna hit the world with something nobody's ready for. The question everybody's asking now is, will Jamie be the one to deliver the final blow? Or is he just the beginning of an even bigger avalanche that's about to bury half of Hollywood? One thing's for sure. The clock's ticking and the truth is itching to explode, and when it finally does, no one will be safe. And don't get it twisted, it's not just Hollywood that's sweating. The music industry, big brands, even some politicians are low-key panicking behind closed doors because of the ties they've had with Diddy over the years. If Jamie or anyone else starts naming names, it could cause a chain reaction way bigger than anyone's ready for. There's already talk that certain media outlets are being pressured to keep stories quiet. But the internet's a beast they can't control. Once the floodgates open, no amount of money or power is gonna stop the wave that's coming. Meanwhile, Fans are out here playing detective, digging up old interviews, piecing together shady connections, and blowing up receipts that had been ignored for years. It's like a whole army of truth seekers ready to expose whoever's been hiding behind the glitz and glam. Jamie, he's sitting in a position of real power right now. One word from him could turn the whole empire to ash. And based on how things are heating up, it's not a matter of if he speaks, it's when. And when that day comes, the fallout is gonna be so big, Hollywood might never look the same again. What's even crazier is that insiders are saying Jamie isn't alone. He's linking up with others who have their own dirt on Diddy and the industry. Behind the scenes, it's like a secret alliance forming. A group of people who are sick and tired of the lies, the fear, and the fake smiles. If they move together, if they time it right, they could blow the roof off the whole system in one shot. No more whispers, no more blind eyes, just straight up truth bombs dropping back to back. Sources are hinting that there are already plans in motion. Interviews lined up, documentaries getting pitched, even major platforms fighting to get the exclusive rights to the real stories before anyone else does. Meanwhile, Diddy's team is scrambling harder than ever, throwing out hush money offers, sending out legal threats, and trying to lock down anyone who might even think about talking. But it might be too late. Once that first domino falls, there's no stopping the avalanche that's about to crush every dirty secret hiding behind those Hollywood smiles. Jamie holds the match, and if he lights it, the explosion is gonna be so massive, the whole world's gonna feel the aftershock. And peep this, remember how it was said that once you take cyanide, it can lead to pneumonia? Well, guess who suddenly passed away from pneumonia, despite being perfectly healthy and never even diagnosed with any illness? Kim Porter. Now, nobody's outright saying Diddy had a hand in Kim's death, but let's be real. Rumors have been swirling for years, way before any of these recent exposés. So at this point, all we can do is wait and see what the feds dig up. Now, speaking of Jamie, he recently opened up a little bit about his health scare during a Netflix comedy special, and honestly, it was chilling. His description of what he went through had the audience shook, but he still kept the real details locked away. As usual, people had all kinds of theories. One person even said, Jamie probably got hold of one of them baby oil bottles and used the whole thing, not knowing it was laced with GHB. Another pointed out how weird it is that Jamie refuses to explain exactly what happened, saying if it was just a regular medical emergency, he would have probably shared it to raise awareness. But now it's your turn. Well, what do you think? Did Jamie almost lose his life because he knew too much? And do you believe Diddy could really have had something to do with it? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.